The life of a gypsy. The only home Ray Van Horn knows is his trusty RV. He crisscrosses the United States from the streams of Montana to the waters of southern Florida and destinations in between and beyond. It's the life Ray loves. It's the life of a gypsy angler.
Hey, this week we're in Clearwater, Dunedin, Palm Harbor, Florida area. And I know that seems like a lot, but actually it's the St. Joseph Sound area of Clearwater to Palm Harbor. And this area is notorious in the wintertime for its trout fishing. My guest this week is an old friend, Doug Norris, and Doug and his father, Dick Norris, own the Dick Norris GMC stores in Clearwater and Palm Harbor, Florida. Doug, you've been selling me trucks for over 25 years.
Yep.
And servicing them. Not so much, I mean, you know, there's not much service on a truck, just regular maintenance. I've never had any issues on my GMCs ever. And of course, we've grown to be great friends over the years, and I think that speaks volumes for you and your family, and that's why I buy trucks there, because it's like family.
Well, you're in quite a bit. You take good care of your trucks, you do what you're supposed to do, and we've had the opportunity to fish many times over the years and see you regularly at the dealership. So that's kind of the atmosphere we want to create.
Doug is really passionate about the outdoors and especially fishing and boating, and has a place right here on the water in Dunedin. I'll tell you what, he's a pretty good angler as well. We had a significant cold front go through. It was just in the 80s 3 days prior to my getting here, and this morning it was 40. It's a pretty drastic reduction in temperature. So we're gonna have some challenges, but that's the whole cool thing about fishing. In Clearwater, we got St. Joseph Sound, we've got the Spoil Islands, there's some great trout fishing here. And you look at the landscape over here, we're right on the low tide. I mean, there's a whole lot of bottom close to the top. And, but that just makes it easier, really, quite honestly, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Well, I'm pretty sure that you can put us on some fish today.
I got a little history here.
Yeah.
This is actually what we call nuclear chicken. You got pink on top, chartreuse on the bottom, and it is a big trout catcher.
I gotta tell you, the Miradine is the go-to bait for me.
You don't want to get in an argument with fish, and we always start off with different lure concepts just to give them some variety. I had a sinking Miradine on. Doug chose a light jig with MirrLure soft bait. I'm seeing pelicans diving, and the key part of that is bait. So super low tide, it condenses the water column. They got to be on an edge someplace. You got spotted grass through here. This is where they should be. Now, Doug, this is a brand new trolling motor right here. This is cool stuff right here. Okay, in the old days, we'd have to walk up, push in a lever, and manually deploy the trolling motor. Now you go like this.
That is the ultimate technology and laziness all in one shot.
I'm telling you, man.
That is sick, though.
That just extended my career 10 years. All the people that said, you're done in like 2, nah. I can go to 90 now. What's really cool, think about this. You can be up here in the tower, on the beach, wherever, and you'll never have to come out of there. Because you got your power poles here, you've got your new iPilot auto deploy there.
And I thought I was bragging about just the iPilot the other day. Now it's a totally different ball game.
Today's the only day we had to film, so we knew it was going to be a transitionary situation. Even though trout, spotted sea trout, are fairly temperate when it comes to temperature extremes, there's a transition there, and it takes them a few hours to acclimate. And the day before, it was bright and sunny, and we had very little cloud cover, and boy, that makes it really tough. We were fortunate that we had a little cloud cover this morning, and these fish started to move in with an incoming tide.
There we go.
Got one there?
Yep. Yeah, that's a nice fish.
All right, Doug. There's your trout.
There you go. We can count this as a fish now.
You haven't got him in yet.
There we go.
Nice. That is very nice.
a good start, huh?
Yeah.
That's what we've been looking for right there.
Hold on, buddy, I'll help you. That is the targeted
Not a bad start
species.
there, huh?
Not too bad. About an 18,
Pretty fish.
19 incher right there.
Yeah.
Basically, well, I just went history fishing. And with over 30 years experience in this fishery, I knew that the spoil islands, one of them, if not all of them, were gonna have some trout on them at some point of that incoming tide. And I just went to an old history spot, pulled up, and thankfully they were there. Pretty nice. All right, it's official. You caught the first fish.
Man, you just keep watching, Ray. I'll show you how to do this.
I have no doubt. I wasn't really productive on the hard bait presentation. Doug hooked up to a nice fish on the soft baits, and it didn't take me long to tie one on too. Let me catch this one
Well,
first,
there
Dougie.
you go. Look at that. You put that on, that's your first cast, wasn't it? That was your first cast.
That was not a bad one either. Went to a chicken-colored jig, brother.
That was that fish I just missed.
He's got your jig in his mouth, look. Boy, I barely had him.
Did you?
This is a deal here. You can look at this. This fish is not very active. He is barely hooked. And extreme weather conditions, you know, they're not going to be real active. You got to get right in their face. And not a very big fish. He's 16, 17 inches maybe. Still a lot of fun. Put him back in the pool. And the thing about spotted sea trout is that once you locate one or two, I mean, they school and they're usually school to size. So if they're, you know, if the first one's 18 to 20 inches, you can bet there's going to be a few more in the area.
The Gypsy Angler with Ray Van Horn is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Evinrude E-Tech, 300 hours, no dealer scheduled maintenance. Camp Light Truck Campers, no wood, no rot.
When the weather gets really, really extreme like this, you want to find some fairly protected water. I mean, it was honking. God bless the weathermen. I don't know how you keep your job, quite honestly, because you claimed it was going to be out of the east, and it was blowing out of the north, northwest all day, and it was cranking. Thanks for the help. But that being said, we went to some spoil islands, ducked out behind the wind, got in the lee. You know, even nature will tell you what to do if you look at it hard enough. All the bird life got in the lee and sat up and roosted in a bunch of trees. And you know, that's a pretty good indication of where the fish are going to be.
There we go.
Get him, Doug. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I felt him pick it up. Did you see that?
Yeah. I think that's trout nuggets.
Yeah, there's a good
That's
one.
a nice one.
Yeah. No, that's a nice fish.
That is a good one, boy.
Yep. He's a heavy one. Well, he's a chunky little fish right there. We'll put him in the cooler. Make a good dinner. There we go.
Normally, I don't keep a lot of trout, especially if I catch them in the warmer months, because, you know, there's some parasites involved in that whole process with those fish. I'll tell you what.
That's not a bad fish there. That's a chunky fish.
That's a very nice one. In the cooler months, you know, there's a lot less of that in their meat, and I just think they eat better. And of course, it's important to ice them down immediately. I don't care, you know, what month you catch a fish. You want to, if you're going to keep one, put him in the cooler immediately, and chill that fish down. But this time of the year, trout especially are really good table fare. Right in the old fridge. Little trout nuggets tonight. Now I know there's a lot of good coolers out there, and that's great. But a frigid rigid is food quality when it comes to coolness. And what I mean by that is that you can take and throw fish in the cooler.
Well, now I got my dinner.
And in most coolers, it takes a while to get that fish smell and that bacteria out of your cooler. Because of the construction that a frigid rigid is made of gel-coated fiberglass, it's not as porous. So you take one shot with some soft scrub in there and you don't smell any fish.
Here we go. Nice dinner.
So that's a big plus. You don't have to worry about the bacterial aspects. They clean up a lot easier. And oh, by the way, they look pretty cool too. There he is.
There.
Trout. So opportunity is what it is. You prepare yourself. You can only control a few things. You can control how you dress for these conditions. You can also prepare your tackle. If you watch a lot of the Gypsy angler, you know, I use pretty heavy stuff. So many of the scenarios we fish are heavy cover, and I use heavy leader and heavy line usually to present a lure. That wasn't the case in this situation. We lightened up the line, went to spinning rods so we could make long casts, scaled way down to my leader. The water was gin clear. You could see so many of the fish. And even though they weren't large specimens, they were lit up.
Yeah, that's a little redfish.
Yeah.
The redfish were especially colorful. They were deep, dark tones, bright blue tails, which is very characteristic of the colder water months. And you know what? Small redfish, big redfish, they're all the same to me. You just spit up a little crustacean. Just a little guy, but boy, I'll tell you what, they're cool. Just a cool little dude. Fun stuff, man.
They really like this color.
You know, it's in bass fishing, they use a lot of bright colors in real clear water, especially chartreuse and pink. And you know, this water is very, very clear. And trout and redfish love that color in clear water. Electric chicken.
Well, it makes you wonder when they're hitting something like this, what does this in their real world mimic that makes them? Is it a reactionary bite? Is it I mean, just is something they just can't resist because of the colors of it, or what?
I don't know. I think you can get a headache. You get paralysis by analysis on that deal. But you know, shrimp have a lot of pink in it, and it's just hard to say. All I know is it works.
Yeah.
The Gypsy Angler with Ray Van Horn is brought to you by St. Croix Rods. Fish now, do everything else later. Frigid Rigid Coolers, the last cooler you'll ever buy. Miro Lure, turn on the bite anytime, tie on a Miro Lure. Torque Lift International, the camper tie down and suspension of Gypsy Angler.
Equipment for today's fishing is pretty simple. We're using 7.5 foot St. Croix Avid Series spinning rods in a medium action, and 3,500 Canyon spinning reels, light braid, light leader, 30-pound leader. I know that's not light to a lot of you, but it's light for me. And light jig heads, and we're using Miro Lure Little Johns in electric chicken, and also the Provoker. And actually the Provoker, Doug was using the Provoker, and he caught a lot bigger fish than I did. I hate to admit that, but he did. But these were your two choices. The Little John's a little smaller shape, Provoker, say that 3 times real fast. In the electric chicken, go-to baits, check them out.
There you go. Nice trout.
Not a bad one.
Ah, he's okay.
Not a bad one. 18, 19 inches. While I was in the area, I have a really close friend that is a school teacher, and she asked me, she said, listen, we've got the Great American Teach-In, and you love to fish and kids love to fish, would you come by and talk fishing with our class, and maybe show them how to cast and you know, how to catch a fish, and talk about your life a little bit.
Today we are going to talk to Captain Ray Van Horn, who's the Gypsy. He has his own TV show.
And you know what, I don't know, I can't say no about, you know, when it comes to kids, and I'm just a big kid, and I know they love to fish, and in this situation it's really special for a number of reasons, but this school is the Calvin Hunsinger School for special children, challenged children, if you will. Then it's kind of their last bastion of hope when it comes to a school and the school system. In a lot of cases, they'd fall through the cracks. The teachers, the faculty at this school, I know a lot of the faculty, the counselors, and some of the teachers, and I don't know how they do it. First round sainthood, no doubt, for these people that take time to teach these children. And a little bit of time out of my day to spend with these kids, and it was really rewarding. And these are special kids, and they may not have ever had the opportunity to go fishing. Just to think, you know, if one child, you know, gets excited about that, when you see the smiles on these kids' faces, you'll see why I did it. I got more back than they did.
You did great.
Good
That's
job,
awesome.
girlfriend.
The Gypsy Angler with Ray Van Horn is brought to you by ProCure Bait Sense, ruthlessly effective. Blue Point Fabrication, if you can dream it, we can build it. Dick Norris GMC, the preferred truck dealer of the Gypsy Angler. Bob's Machine Shop, go fast, go shallow, go efficient.
There we go.
You got another one?
Yep.
I may have to go to a provoker.
Yep. That's it. This is a good fish right here.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
a good fish right here.
They didn't come in tide. They're getting a
Look at
little
this.
froggy.
Yeah, right off of this point right over here.
All right, so we caught a whole bunch of trout, and you know what? They were top of the slot fish. We had enough for a fish fry that night, and we put it all together, quite honestly, in just 4 or 5 hours. So considering the atmospheric conditions and all that, it was a pretty good time with my old friend Doug Norris. Very nice. Let me get mine out of the way. Oh yeah, you get a nice one. And what a cool guy he is. What a wonderful family, and I'm really blessed to be associated with these people.
Yeah, he hit it good.
Oh, that's
They're
nice
laying
fish.
right off that point.
That is a very nice fish. Nothing wrong with that.
No. Kind of a carbon copy of that other one.
That one wasn't coming off.
You're right, though. When you put it in front of them, they don't want it to get away.
A little better fish right there, Doug.
Nice.
Very nice. That's a great thing about trout, even on a tough day like this. I mean, it's blowing 10, 15, and you know, put your power poles down, set off these islands, and you can have a lot of fun. They're going to be a Ranger boat dealer very, very soon. By the time you see this show, they'll be in the boat sales game, and they're going to be an outfitter. And not only is it a great place to go buy your truck, you can buy your Ranger boat there, but it's probably going to be one of the finest tackle places, tackle stores in the whole Tampa Bay area. Now that's going to be at the Palm Harbor location.
Yep.
And you're going to call it?
Norris Marine Center.
Well, there you go.
And then,
Dick Norris GMC and Norris Marine Center.
Yeah, and we're very excited about it. We're going to do something that, you know, that's uniquely different, we think. So not only can you buy a boat from us, you can buy the truck to tow it, and you can buy on a regular basis everything you need to do the best fishing in this area. So
that's incredible.
we're really excited about it. So a lot of good things to come.
Their passion for the outdoors and the way they do things, if how they sell trucks is any indication, it's going to be off the chart good. That blue, dark blue tail, mean little Jasper. Pretty cool. The future right there. We had the whole place to ourselves.
No one else dared this day, did they?
You know, it doesn't matter to me. whether it's like this or conditions are perfect, it's all about getting out and spending time in the water, and that's why you need to fish hard. And remember, you don't get this day back. Till next time, tight lines.
What you got there, Ray?
I got the big eye.